Welcome to Squidward's Monkey Pod. Regular episode this week. Let's go. As always, The Monkees may be a children's show from the 60s, but The Monkees Pod is not a children's show from 2025, for we are adults and speak on adult topics and phrases. Enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome back to the Monkees Pod, a Monkees recap podcast. I'm Sommer.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Molly.
Today we have Season 1, Episode 21, The Prince and the Paupers, possibly. In some places it has an S on the end. In some places they are plural paupers.
To imply that all monkeys are poor.
Yes, I think that's funny. So we shall be calling it The Prince and the Paupers. And this week, for historical background, as I'm sure we will get into in the episode, we could discuss different adaptations of The Prince and the Pauper, but that seems like it'll organically crop up as we go through, particularly the Barbie version. We're going to get into that. But I thought that wouldn't be the best historical background, so I pulled out the historical background I've been saving for a rainy day, which is this bizarre and frankly inexplicable interview that the Monkees gave to Teen Life in, I think, 66. I don't really have it. I could have looked up the date on this. I don't have it in front of me. This is Monkees Are the Craziest People. The Monkees as interviewed by Teen Life's Marilyn Beck. You won't believe the way outlines the Monkees fed our Marilyn Beck, and we're going to do a short reading of this. And if we ever mess up our lines, it's because half of these lines are unattributed to any of the Monkees, and all of them that do have attributions have it at the end of the line, so you never know who's talking. But I'm going to be playing the interviewer and Mike, Mom's going to be playing Micky, and Molly's going to be playing Peter and Davy. So let's go.
Try and keep the accents consistent.
When did the four of you first meet? Here for the series?
What time is it? 3.5 hours ago. All kidding aside, I first met Mike at the Rafters, a club in Santa Monica.
When was that?
3.5 hours ago.
Davy, I know you planned to be a jockey at first.
No short jokes.
Don't kid Davy about his height. Stand up and show him how tall you are.
I am standing up. See what we mean? No short jokes.
Are any of you married?
Yes, I'm married to Micky. Micky is going steady.
Yeah, and I'm getting married about then. And if you don't knock it off, man, the deal is off.
And then an unattributed line. No, we don't know who said this. It says, I won't say the steak is terrible, but it's pretty bad. Outside of being married to each other, are any of you married?
What do you think we are, bigamists?
For crying out loud, give us a break. Whatever you say, Peter, don't use Jesus, God, whatever you do. Never!
Whatever you say, don't say nectarine, because that's bad.
Nectarine.
Where's there a nectarine?
Just so I'm not totally confused when I leave, girl, I don't think anything's going to prevent that. Just answer me one question straight. How many of you are from England and how many from the US?
Yes.
All right. What do you think of American teenagers? Yes, Middle East.
Oh, you mean American teenagers?
I would say Fritos.
You're Fritos.
What do you think of long haircuts? Long hair is going out.
It'll never replace popcorn.
I think long hair with the proper merchandising. Could somebody please tell me what's in here, please?
It's an egg.
Would you say it's an egg? I didn't have that learning, you know. I don't have the Latin to know these things, you see.
It's an egg.
You think it's an egg?
I know it's an egg.
How do you know it's an egg?
I can tell because little chickens are in it.
There are some chickies in there somewhere.
There's a chicken. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a chicken.
Note, this is all going on while David and Micky are running their hands through a bowl of potato salad on the table. Peter said that he had wanted some of that and to stop playing with it, and Davy said, don't worry, I've only been picking my nose. Okay, what do you fellows think of the English mod fashions? Oh, mod fashions.
In mod opinion, I don't know.
Automobiles.
No, I always say tomato.
Do you fellows live together?
Yes, we all live in Los Angeles.
No, she asked us if we live together.
Micky and I share a house, and Mike and I share a house.
At the beach or Hollywood or where?
Well, we have a house in Hollywood, and we have a house in Beverly Glen, and we have a house in Malibu Canyon, and a house in Anaheim.
What do you fellows like to do for recreation?
What would you like? I have the time. Do you have the money?
What kind of car do you drive? We have a car between us. Aren't you getting on each other's nerves if you live together and work together?
We hate one another. We hate one another, I said.
We hate everyone. We hate each other. I hate Micky and Peter and Mike.
We hate each other. Oh, yes, we do.
That's another bit of scandal there. Pick up on it.
Pick up on it. How long have you been in this country, David?
I've been here for 4 years.
Is the hair long for the series, or was it long before? It's very long for the series. Normally for a series, it's much shorter, but for this series, it's longer.
Actually, I'm waiting until my eyebrows get longer so I can brush my hair over my head.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, well, once.
What college?
Hard Knocks.
What about you, Micky? Did you go to college?
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Where?
Shall I say Valley State, UCLA?
What about UCLA?
All right, forget it.
Don't tell them anything, it'll destroy their image.
I can't tell them I went to college because it'll destroy their image, man.
I was taking advanced nuclear theoretical electronics at UCLA. I have a bachelor's degree at Oxford in Shakespearean and modern lit.
What do you think of the kids who protest at Cal?
Less.
Protesting where? Are there people protesting at Cal?
What are they protesting about?
What were you going to say, David? For a moment, I had the feeling you were going to say something straight.
Actually, I don't have any opinion. I think it's a bit much. Everybody knows how everybody feels. You don't have to protest.
Have any of you fellows been in the service?
I haven't.
I've served my parents for the longest time.
Mike was in the Air Force.
He was the only man in history to turn over the general's airplane. I tried to join, but they wouldn't take me.
Two heads are a terrible thing.
I just walked in and said, "Listen here, I want to get in this man's army."
Oh, you do, eh, son?
Yes, I do.
What about you, Pete?
They wouldn't take me. One of my legs is shorter than the other.
Is that why you lisp?
Well,
That's a homophobic joke.
well, maybe you could fight on the side of a hill.
What did you fellows do before you got into show business? Quite a lot. What about you, Micky? What did you do before the series?
I was a failure.
At what?
I used to stand in front of the doctor's office making people sick.
Mick used to have a different name, you know. He used to be Cesar Romero?
Caesar Romero.
He used to be Cesar Romero.
I decided I was going to get my name in life and become famous, so I changed my name to Exit. Then for a while, I used to ride shotgun in a garbage truck.
I had a lot of jobs. Let's see, what were some other jobs I had?
I never even knew you worked, man. For a long time, I thought manual labor was a Mexican.
It says for a long time you thought manual labor was a Mexican. I don't know what
Not
that
that it
means.
makes sense either
Well,
way.
no, like Manuel.
Maybe. Okay.
Oh.
You thought that. Okay.
Okay.
I was really stupid.
And that Sherlock Holmes was a housing development.
Okay.
This is for our teen magazine. But keep it up, boys. Let's get back to your house. Do you live at the beach?
Let's get back to something.
Let's get back to Earth. Do you have brothers and sisters, Mike? No, I don't. When you were in the Air Force, did you serve overseas? No, I didn't.
What's this, 20 questions?
Is it bigger than a bread box?
No, it's not.
Smaller than a bread box?
Yes, it is. Does it have 2 eyes and 2 ears and 2 legs? No, it doesn't.
Is it animal, mineral, vegetable?
She's not so much smaller than a bread box. Oh, you don't know the bread box we're talking about.
Mike, where are you from? San Francisco. Mike, are you going steady with anyone? Yes. What's her name? Give me a break. You don't want me to tell you, baby. What about you, Davy?
No.
You don't like the term steady? It means you're unreliable. You don't approve of that? No.
I think that young kids are grown up too fast nowadays.
You gotta slow down.
I knew a 16-year-old kid who grew 8 inches in 1 week. These kids get out of hand.
I think kids should settle down and be solemn and sedate when they're 1 year old. They shouldn't be kids. Nobody should have fun.
I'm Davy's father, and I'm 14.
I'm his mother, and I'm 12. If you don't approve of the term going steady, how would you refer to it as? Doesn't say who says this. I'm gonna guess Mike. Well, there is a term for going steady that I would prefer. That makes a lot more sense. One of you is married.
No, 2 of us are married, me and Davy.
Will the married person please stand up?
All right, you're all a bunch of cowards. And then it says asking each other, and what did you do for a living? Really not much. What did you do for a living? Yes. What did you do for a living? Live. Do you approve of teenage marriage?
Yes.
I'm 14 and Davy's 13.
You mean a teenager of 19 and not 13?
Right.
Are you going to print which one is married?
No, I'm just like lost.
I am married.
Do you have any children?
1.
How old?
15 months.
You're free to use whatever you like. Just be prepared for bodily assault.
But my wife is in England.
Is she coming here?
No.
Why?
'Cause we're getting a divorce.
That's a good reason.
She's not coming out for a while. I'm going to make the money and go back, then we're going to get married.
What if the series goes on for a couple of years?
Then she'll come out.
I asked you this before and got a smart answer. What do you fellows do for recreation? This is unaccredited to anyone. It just says, what do you think we do for recreation? Being young, being here in Hollywood, what do you think we do?
They've had it.
What are some of your pet peeves?
I have a little pet peeve that is so cute, about this big. It has 2 heads, one on each end. Funny little guy.
Do you have a pet peeve? I didn't know there were many of those around.
What's your pet peeve, Pete?
Bottle caps. My pet peeves are a pair I pick up by the ears. They're called him and her.
What qualities do you dislike in women? I don't like to have women with hairy hands and broad shoulders.
I hate women with hairy legs, with whiskers. I like them to have 2 eyes. I really hate them when they've got more than 2 eyes.
More than one nose is a drag. What qualities do you like in women? They have to be between 5 feet and 12 feet.
2 feet and a couple of arms.
Mickey is so picky.
I know, I always like them with 2 arms.
Do you dislike bossy women? You'll notice Micky is the first one to answer.
I love girls.
Davy, what do you think of American teenagers?
Wealthy, tall, handsome.
Were any of you juvenile delinquents, or are you still delinquents?
No.
Most of us were never even juveniles.
Were you ever a kid?
No, I was born 47 years old.
Were you rebellious from the ages of 13 to 19? No.
I was a kid from 13 to 19. I was in Santo Domingo getting out of the Marines.
I was wealthy.
I was tall.
I was handsome.
Did you all graduate from high school?
Yes, I did.
Are any of you honor students?
What does that mean?
Like getting straight A's, being top of your class. I was top of my class. It took a lot of beating to get them down below me.
I used to play soccer for the Manchester boys.
I played football when I was on the R team. The varsity had teams A, B, and C, and I was on the R team.
You were the only one on the team, right?
Me and a couple of girls.
Any of you ever hold school office?
I held up the school office twice.
I held the school office against the Marines. He got locked in the school office once.
Well, one time I was in the school office and got locked in. What sort of things make you sad or depressed?
When I look at Mickey and Peter and Mike.
And then this one is uncredited. I don't know. Things that make me depressed usually don't bother other people. No salt, no steak knives.
Robert Vaughn.
And then it has a bunch of like quotation marks as if it is like,
Ditto.
yeah.
Is he stuck?
I don't have a key, man.
Oh no, push him.
He stopped.
Wind him up.
Peter pretends he's a mechanical toy and the other 3 try to get his track unstuck. What do you think about Governor Ronald Reagan?
Throwback. He plays a good piano, baby.
I don't know. I'd like to see President Johnson do one of our shows.
What do you think about actors running for political office?
What difference does it make?
What do you think about a bricklayer running for Plymouth Rock?
Is that an office?
Are you going to run for office? What office?
At Screen Gems, there must be something very nice.
Yes, I know. I mean political office?
Oh, go on, no. Who wants to be president of Manchester?
I'd like to be king of Burbank.
So, there we go.
Okay.
Ronald Reagan, potato salad, being Davy's preteen parents. There's just a lot going on there.
It made no sense.
Like, there's not any rhyme or reason to a single answer given in that interview. And I think that's in pretty typical Monkees fashion.
I think
But
that's beautiful.
The stroking the potato salad really got me. Peter wanted to eat that.
Yeah. I don't know under what compelled them to do that, because like that seems like it would feel bad.
Right?
Maybe it didn't.
Maybe
Felt good.
maybe they were so high.
This was like the
and it felt so
slime
good.
from
Oh, you're right. They were like playing with like a slime tutorial.
Yeah.
Okay. Now into this episode that has nothing to do with that. Although I don't think anything on Earth has anything to do with that. The director of this one is James Comack, who I don't think we've seen before. The writers are Gerald and Dee, the story by Peter Meyerson. This one was broadcast number 21 on February 6th, 1967, and it was 25th in production, filmed December 15th to 19th of 1966, which is
now.
today when we're recording this. The episodes,
66. Though.
yeah. Well, it is not 1966 today.
41 years.
Okay,
That's a lot.
that is. The episode starts with Micky and Peter making mocking faces in front of some fancy portraits, and then Mike tells them to cool it, which is low-key one of his minor catchphrases at this point, which I think is fun. They're being the embassy for the country, for the fake country whose embassy they're at, which they name halfway into the episode.
Yeah, you don't know. It's Peruvia.
It's, Peruvia, the fake country. They're at the
Vian.
but not Peruvian, because that's the thing.
Because that's Peru.
Peruvian.
Peruvia.
The Peruvian embassy, because they read in the paper that there might be an embassy ball, and perhaps they would like a teen pop rock group for that, if for a hypothetical event that may not be occurring. They gotta find job leads somewhere.
Yeah.
The butler of the embassy opens the door.
I finally figured out. I think he was the ambassador.
They call him the Count.
No, the other guy's the Count.
Oh.
He's
Yeah.
the
Oh, the
ambassador.
butler.
Count.
Oh, I was calling him Butler.
Okay, I was calling
Okay.
him Butler too, but then I realized, he's.
But there is
probably-
another Butler.
Yes,
You're right.
There's a servant. Yeah,
Mhm.
but this guy, I think he's the ambassador.
Okay.
Which means he's the one who's in our country, and
Mhm.
he's the ambassador. And then the Count is there, and the Count is like a leader in the country.
Okay. That makes sense. It doesn't affect the story much.
It doesn't.
I
but
may continue to call him Butler, but he's the ambassador. Ambassador opens the door, and he's like, "Oh, where have you been? The Count's been looking everywhere for you." But he only lets Davy into the ballroom, and the rest of the monkeys like wave awkwardly as he leaves. And the Count inside the ballroom says to Davy, "What are you doing wearing those bizarre clothes?" In reference to his 8-button shirt. That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair way to describe that outfit.
Poor Davy looks like sadly down at his shirt.
Yeah. And then suddenly, another Davy.
I wrote, what's better than one Davy Jones? Two Davy
Davy
Jones!
Another Davy. He's wearing a Prince outfit, so you know he's a different person. He has the exact same Farquaad hair. Both Davy and Prince Ludlow chose to do their hair this extremely specific way. But thank God. So then Davy turns direct to camera and says, "It's like Prince and the Pauper." Thanks, Dave. I wouldn't have got that otherwise. Prince and the Pauper is actually like a much... I thought it was an ancient fairy tale. Mark Twain wrote it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like a cultural property that like nobody reads the original and you only know it through like references in other
Right.
media. There's the Barbie version, of course.
That's what I know the entirety of Prince
I'm
and
just
Pauper
like you.
from.
I'm just like you.
And
you're
honestly,
just like
watching this made me realize that like maybe the Barbie version was more true to the source material than I thought, because clearly this can't be basing off the Barbie version, which came out in 2004.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty simple plot beats. That there are randomly two identical strangers of different social classes who
Yes.
decide to switch.
So we somewhat have a Preminger equivalent.
Yeah.
We've got a wedding. We've got a jail.
I have not seen more than like 3 minutes of that movie since I was 5 years old. So
This one's ingrained in my brain.
I mean, like I remember the songs. I remember I'm just like you.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I had the dolls. I had the dolls that you press the
So did
button
I.
at the same time and they sing together.
Well, I didn't have the singing one, but I had the Annalise doll.
Yeah,
No.
no.
You had the DVD.
I was shocked to learn while I was doing research for this episode that both the Barbies in Princess and the Pauper were played by the same woman.
Yes, they
Like,
were.
Much like this episode. That's another common thing of Prince and the Pauper adaptation. Because the Barbie one, it's like the Disney one where it was Mickey Mouse.
Right. There's
Um,
that one, which I haven't seen.
This is like the reason that like anyone born after 1960 knows what the word pauper means, you know?
True.
Right.
I was thinking about this, how many like references to media there are in the Monkees, and this conversation I'm seeing on Twitter right now where in Zootopia 2, Disney took out a scene that was like a reference to some movie that kids wouldn't get because they were like, oh, kids wouldn't understand that. And then everyone on Twitter was like, the way that I learned about old media and references and all these things of all these old references to things that I've never actually seen is just through things being referenced in cartoons.
Yeah.
And that's an important source of like media learning for kids. So we shouldn't be like dumbing it down for them, even if they wouldn't get
Yeah,
it.
there can always be a reference in there for the parents too.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
They can learn something new.
they can.
Yes.
Yeah.
and then the
or
parents
they-
can explain it to them.
Or
Be
they
like,
can
"Oh, yeah,
just
it's the
see
Mark Twain
something
novel."
in media that they don't understand and then absorb it forever.
Yes.
Like most Gen Z and millennials know who Nosferatu is because of SpongeBob.
Yes.
Like, what did the Monkees teach us all? You know, what did the Monkees keep alive in the cultural memory?
I don't know. We got a lot of Mickey doing a lot of impressions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mr. Clean came back.
Mr.
Yes,
Clean.
Mr. Clean.
You know what? Thank the Monkees, or Mr. Clean would have gone out of business. Let's also reflect on the fact that the premise of The Prince and the Pauper, it makes sense that it's Mark Twain and that it's satirical, because if you think about it for even 3 seconds, it makes no sense. Why is there an identical stranger?
Yeah.
That's
It's like that like Christmas movie with Vanessa Hudgens.
oh
Like,
yeah,
two
where
of
there's
her.
two of her.
Yeah,
Um,
Well, the Parent Trap.
They're twins.
yeah, they're
that
twins
makes
in the
sense.
Parent Trap.
but in this
Like-
universe, like identical doppelgangers with the same haircut just
Yeah.
exist. Even in the Barbie version, they have different colored hair, so it's
Yeah.
a little believable.
Yeah, they're similar looking. And also all those adaptations take place in ancient times with no photography. You know, where
Mhm.
people weren't so used to like recalling exactly what everyone's
What
face
somebody
looked
else
like.
yeah.
Wait, could you say that this version is the most similar to Barbie Princess and the Pop Star because you have a prince and a literal pop star?
Oh.
Maybe that
Maybe
was the true inspiration.
for Princess and the Pop Star.
Yes,
yeah.
the updated remake of Barbie Princess and the Pauper based on Prince and the Pauper. There's a very long pipeline.
There's the influence of Prince and the Pauper adaptations goes deep. The Count and the Ambassador have like Burgermeister Meisterburger accents.
Yeah.
But Prince Ludlow is British. Where is this fake country located?
Peruvian.
Peruvia.
I was surprised that they didn't even give Prince Ludlow like a different accent. I thought maybe they would give him an American accent, like just for
Right.
the
That would
bit
have
to
been funny.
differentiate.
That would have been
Both-
funny.
They both
Like-
had British accents.
Right, it's
thing-
just Davy.
Yeah.
Like he does nothing to change his character besides nervously fidget with his
Yeah, like,
badges.
he like puts his voice a tiny bit higher and more shy, but like he just it's incredibly confusing when either of them are dressed as each other because you just like you're like I don't know who you are right now. Also, whenever Davy talks to Prince Ludlow, they do one of two things, which I call the Parent Trap method, because it is identical to how they did the original Parent Trap from the 60s, before they could have complex body doubling and CGI techniques to make Lindsay Lohan hug herself in the 90s or 2000s or whenever it was remake. In the 60s, what they did with the one actress was for shots where she's talking to her, and they do this with Davy too, where shots where he's talking to himself on a flat plane, they do it with a green screen and just like half or like a
split
half and half
screen.
split screen. For shots where they have to like interact, they have a extremely obvious body
I know.
double standing with his back perpendicular to the camera, not moving
In a
at
wig.
all, in the cheapest, shiniest, party cityest wig.
It's
Which
the wig they
doesn't look-
used to bring to the barber to give Davy that haircut.
Yeah, which doesn't look like. It's not the same length as Davy's hair. It's not the same color as Davy's hair.
It's more wiggy if possible.
It's wiggier than
It's
because
just wiggy enough to understand that it's Davy.
Yeah. So you said before you thought that the body double
I thought it was a woman. I thought
Yeah.
it was a female.
it was famed LA disc jockey Rodney Bingenheimer.
Not to be confused with regular jockey Davy
Truly
Jones.
thought it was a female.
Rodney
Let's get a picture.
Bingenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
even his
Yeah.
face is cropped.
Yeah,
His
he's
IMDb
low in his IMDb.
Oh my god!
Picture. He's so small.
He's so short he couldn't even get in frame for his photo.
Yeah.
Poor
I wonder
Rodney.
like who this man is, what his deal was, why he was
How they managed to get him. for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a woman because they he takes his jacket off and he's in a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then they whisk him away and he just looked so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably the casting call, seeking short, feminine
Yeah.
actors.
Well, like if you have a 5'3" man, he's going to be petite normally,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild that they both found a 5'3" man who was also like an entertainment personality of LA at the time. It seems like Davy had a little smoke break between filming halves of the conversation where he's talking to himself, because like as Davy he seems more high than Prince Ludlow is. Maybe that's just his acting.
It could
and
be a character choice.
it was a really method acting character choice to be like the chill hippie versus
Yes.
the uptight prince. So one of the first things Davy says to Ludlow is, "What are you doing in America?" And not, "This is so scary, why do we look identical, stranger?" and Ludlow says, "I've come to your land to find a bride, because under the law of my nation's constitution, if I turn 18 unmarried, my throne passes to the count." So that's the plot of episode 1.
Right.
So that's the plot that we did that
That's
one
a good
already.
But I found in this episode, it was all exposition. Like everybody just kept saying everything out loud.
Mhm.
Like they would just say paragraphs, and you're like, okay, yeah, we know. Like it was not through conversation. It was just through, I'm just going to tell the story again.
Yeah. Davy's like, "That sounds crazy to me." And Ludlow's like, "Yeah, that's what I told the producers." Valid. And then I was like, okay, this might be further confirmation to the Davy is a minor theory, except for the fact that they're not twins, they're just identical strangers, so it isn't necessarily that they're the same age. Like much in the way that Stuart Little is not a mouse, he is a human boy who's shaped like a mouse. Ludlow might not be a Davy, he's just a human boy that's shaped like a Davy.
I just figured that meant Davy is actually 17.
Yeah, I figured that too, because they've gone far enough to say everything else about these men is the same down to their accent. So
yeah, I don't know. There's 2 of him, and one of them is royal. Sure. And then Davy's like, well, what's the problem with that? You're rich and you look like Davy Jones. And then Ludlow's like, but I'm so shy.
Yeah, I'm so shy.
I'm so shy. Okay, but we find out not only does he have a title, money, and the face of Davy Jones, he also like has a girl who he's connected with and hung out with before, and who likes him.
Yeah, but this whole thing made no sense whatsoever. Okay, so then we go to the count, and the ambassador.
Yeah,
and they're fencing.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're having a conversation when fencing, and so they explain while fencing, they explain that they're trying to, if he's not married, the count is going to get the throne, so they're going to just try to keep him away from women until then.
We did that one already.
Yeah. And but again, here's an example of them. Let me just tell you the whole plot out loud. First of all, there is a guy in fencing costume standing in the back. Never had any purpose for the fact that this man is standing there. He never shows back up. So, but they're explaining the whole thing, and then they said, but what about the princess? Then they say the princess will, if any girl comes to him, the princess will scare him off. I don't know who the princess
No,
was.
they didn't say the princess. They said the prince's shyness.
Oh, I thought it was princess.
No.
Hi, something. Okay. The princess shyness. And they said, well, what about Miss Wendy Forsyth? And then, because she took a real shine to him.
When they met on the Riviera.
And they're like, oh, it'll be okay.
No. Yeah, the Count's just super smug. He's like, I don't think they'll become to anything. I took her aside and I told her that he was a bad person.
Yeah.
So why would she, like, listen to you, a random old man with ulterior motives, rather than listen to her heart when she likes the prince? It was a very boring lore dump. Most of the scenes with the villain in this one, like, don't even have jokes in them. Like, no. I, like, skip over them in my notes.
Spend too much time explaining what's about to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly it. All they do is stand there and tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not forget in this scene we also have Chekhov's sword and Chekhov's guy making poison.
Yes.
It pans over from them to a man sharpening a knife
on a stone
and boiling a potion over the fire.
Over an open flame.
Does he work at the knife truck?
But they again don't.
He's just there.
He's just there, like the guy in the fencing costume in the back is just there, and then they go to this other guy, and I'm like, okay.
So, Knife and Potion Man, as I call him, because he's uncredited in the episode.
I call him. They don't credit him.
No, because he's played. I know, but he's played by David Price, who was one of their like bestie stand-in guys, who was on set all the time, and he's an extra in every other episode. So they thought on this one where they gave him a speaking part, they just like didn't credit him.
I hope they paid him.
I'm almost like, did they insert him into the episode last minute? Because his character doesn't do much. He's not really wearing an appropriate costume for his role. He's just kind of there.
He's just dirty.
Yeah, he's dirty. He's wearing like a red flannel,
which is
he's
tattered.
Yeah, he's like American. The whole thing with this character is extremely weird.
He's like the palace poison maker and knife sharpener,
but he's in a tattered plaid shirt, and he's dirty, and he's talking like a hillbilly.
I don't know what that was. Maybe that was an in-joke between David Price and the Monkees.
I don't know what was going on.
It didn't.
He said, "I'll do this. You don't need to pay me or credit me, but let me say whatever I want."
You also don't hear him until like the last third of the episode. He shows up twice.
No, he's just like sitting in the background sharpening his knives.
And he also like laughs menacingly.
Yeah. The ambassador calls the Count sire throughout the scene, and it occurred to me, just like in general in life, when anyone says sire to refer to a king, that's a really crazy way to refer to it, like your superior, to be like, yes, you are the owner of the sperm that created me. Okay. It's especially a crazy thing to call your modern day boss in the 60s. So cut back to Davy and Ludlow, and Davy compliments him by calling him tall.
Witty, handsome, and tall.
Yeah. The monkeys walk in on two Davies, and they literally do the Spider-Man's pointing meme. Like they just like point.
And doing that, Mike throws Peter's hand off of him. Peter's like,
Peter was trying to make amends, and Mike said, "No, stay away from me."
So Davy explains the situation to the monkeys thusly: Ludlow's got to get married in the next month, or else he loses the throne. And he's afraid of girls.
But he doesn't say, like, he just says, yes, there's two of us. And he doesn't explain who he is.
Well, he doesn't know either.
He's like, but he's got to get married. Did not, like,
See, if I was a monkey, I would assume that Davy went through some, like, sort of cloning machine, because that type of thing, that type of science...
the second Davy from the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, that type of science exists in this universe. Like, I would not assume that was a real man, but it surely is. So then an old butler comes up, who we can call Butler,
right,
to announce that the girl Wendy will be here soon. And every time this character appears...
he breaks his stick. He breaks his walking stick.
He just keeps getting a new one.
Well, he keeps getting the same one, taping it back up, and it breaks again. And I still don't understand what the joke was. He does it 5 times. I'm like, is this supposed to be funny that he's breaking his stick?
Well, you see, if you repeat something, it becomes a joke in and of itself, apparently.
So it gets even funnier the 5th time it happens.
He breaks his stick. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So Micky comes up with the great idea that Davy and Ludlow should switch places so that Davy can use his practiced skills of Riz on this woman, and they start changing Davy and the body double out of their clothes, right, while keeping the body double real perpendicular to the camera, and then they like shut him in the closet, and Micky goes, "Okay, send her in." Like, he makes like a freaky face. He like rubs his hand together, like licks his whole mouth. He like. It literally looks like that gif of, like, Silver from Sonic going, like, that people use all the time.
That they're in this closet with the sliding, like, peephole.
You know how closets have
the sliding peephole.
Like the entrance to a secret club. It, like, so this girl, Wendy, comes in, and she looks like horse riding Barbie.
I said she's wearing horseback riding clothes because she's rich.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is Davy's flirting. I'd like to know where you were born and what you were like as a little girl and things like that.
But before that, he's already met her, and he's acting like he doesn't know who she is.
Yeah. He's not even, like, pretending to be Ludlow. He's just starting over.
No, she's come to see him. They've met before. She's come to see him. And Davy's acting like she's never met him before. No wonder she's like, yeah, I got to get out of here.
But doesn't he greet her with, "Oh, you must be Wendy"? But he gets her name wrong.
Right before that. Right before that, he's like, I don't even know this girl. She'll see through me in a second.
Yeah.
Maybe if you tried a little, like, maybe if you pretend.
You
like,
must be the girl I've met last week.
Oh, I'm Ludlow. Oh, I was in a horrible accident and I've forgotten everything. I'm so sorry. Remind me of your name. Like.
Yes, Davy turns on the charm.
Yeah.
And she doesn't question why he got her name wrong.
Yeah. And so he asks about her background, and she's like, I was born on Park Avenue, but I ran away to the village when I was 16. Laugh track. Why is that funny?
But when I was 16, I took an apartment in Greenwich Village. Oh, did you? Did you now? With Daddy's money? I'm like, what did you, like, how did you get an apartment in Greenwich Village when you were 16?
Yeah, she was originally from Park Avenue.
Yeah.
So
well, I want to know why there's a laugh track there. Is it like, oh, she started out classy, but she's really a hippie at heart, so Davy will love her. Yeah. But that's not a joke. That's just what happens.
So they make weird faces at each other. Yeah. Then she wants to see him again.
She says, "Can I see you again, Your Highness?" And then Davy says, "Oh, call me high. I'm sure you are, David. I'm sure you are."
But when she first comes in, she's like, "I don't." Well, as is it before he doesn't know who she is? But she's like, "I don't think we should see each other anymore."
He changed her mind that fast.
He did.
Immediately. All you have to do is ask her one question.
Yeah. Well, he had to just start over with the Riz in place, and the sparkly eyes do all the work. We haven't seen his eyes sparkle in a while.
No, but we see him whizzing girls up left and right.
Yeah,
so maybe he doesn't need them anymore.
Yeah, the Farquaad hair, it kind of damps down on the sparkle, I think. So the girl goes away. And then there's a shot where Ludlow whispers something in Davy's ear, and it looks like he's like about to kiss himself. This is the Davy self-cessed episode. And now we are going to go on an unfortunate tangent. Mom, have you ever heard of the One Slur fandom?
I was wondering
No.
if that's where you were going with this.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
How do we explain?
I know you have heard of the 2015 animated film The Lorax because we saw it in
Yes.
theaters. So
As
you may
did I.
remember the character design of the One Slur in that movie was they kind of made him a skinny boy, an emo boy with a guitar.
Okay.
And he's
he
like an
played
early
guitar,
2000s hippie with
he-
suspenders and a fedora.
and he played guitar to all the like little bears or whatever.
Okay, I kind of recall this.
Now, some young women on the internet found this character design to be very appealing for certain reasons. Honestly, I see it. I was never into it, but I can't hate. Like, I like Mike Nesmith. Like, look at the material. But the thing about the One Slur fandom is normally in fandoms you have a lot of like young hot characters who you can ship together and play with like your little dolls. In the One Slur fandom, you don't have young hot characters. You have the One Slur, some children, the Betty White grandma, and the Lorax.
And when there's no one else this character's age, how can you
we
ship
make
him?
beautiful romantic content? So what they would do was they would take the One Slur from before he turned evil, and then the One Slur after he turned evil and got a top hat and green suit, and they would pretend those were two different characters, and they would ship them together.
Okay.
And they're it's called Oncest. And there are the fandom for this is probably bigger than the current alive fandom for the Monkees.
Wasn't it like one of the most like number one shipped on Tumblr?
Yeah, at the peak of its popularity, this was out of control. Like, this was like they just really wanted the One Slur to kiss himself. And when I see two Davies, I know that history can repeat itself. And I know that there was some child in
Ye olde
1966
Oncest.
doing Ye Olde Oncest with Davy and Ludlow. That's not the best Oncest ship in the Monkees, though, because Princess Gwen x Mike the Cobbler
Oh.
is my ride or die, because Mike the Cobbler wants Princess Gwen. He wants her. And they would be a beautiful couple.
They're in the closet and I said, this is so much Davy, and everybody else has like one line. They like say one thing, then they go in the closet, and then they all peek through the peephole and say like one more line. But Ludlow or Davy, being Ludlow in the closet, he's too short to see through
You
the
only
Yeah.
see
peephole.
his hair.
He's like pulling
Yeah.
himself.
Also,
up.
every time they like switch who's looking in the peephole, they close it
Yeah.
first. Which I've seen
For
that
dramatic effect.
I've seen that in movies, but I don't think there's a purpose to it.
No.
So Ludlow asks Davy to continue to be him for the next couple of days in order to convince this girl to marry him, which is not ethical for the girl.
Right.
And the Monkees are like, "Come on, Davy, you gotta help Ludlow out of a jam. Y'all just met him. I know he looks and sounds exactly like Davy, but you do not know this person. You don't like.
You really don't owe him anything.
They love to find a random person and being like, we gotta help
Gotta
him.
help
He's
this
in a
guy."
tight spot. They're just so helpful. And then Davy's like, I don't know. Running a country takes some peculiar talents. And then Peter, glancing rapidly up and down, goes, you have some of the most peculiar talents I've ever seen. Okay, Pete. Okay, let's cool it up a little. Okay. And then there's another boring villain cutaway where no information was gained, and the potion knife man was there, but it's still not explained.
Back to the other room with the knife sharpening guy and his bubbling potion. The minion, I was calling the ambassador the minion into this boy, is now on the phone with the count, and he is worried because he saw Davy wooing the girl, and she likes him. He tries to convince him not to. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he does no new information. He
No
just
new
says
information
the same
gained.
thing.
No jokes.
No.
But another ominous shot of the knife and potion man.
And the count isn't there. Like, why is he having this phone call? Like, why is where'd the count go? Why did the count leave?
This episode, due to the high technical demands of having two Davies, was marred by scheduling complications, it would appear.
I think that's what happened.
Come back to the throne room. So Ludlow is wearing a commoner disguise, which is a very large jacket and fedora. He looks like George in Magical Mystery Tour, and George in Magical Mystery Tour does not want to be there and would like to check out. So that is how he looks. And Davy has a crown and scepter now, and Mike is like his vizier, and he's wearing like this like velvet blue coat and no hat.
Yes, no hat. But he was like the butler. I mean, that's who the
the
butler guy before.
He has the same outfit as the old butler that breaks his cane.
Capes his cane, yes.
Yeah. Mike assigned himself to be Davy's vizier,
Yes.
and Davy's like, "Who are they going to think that you are?" And he's like, "I don't know, just like make something up."
I did, but at least gets to take his hat off.
Yeah, they let him. Ludlow says, "The Count is a fine man. He's kind and generous and loyal." And then Mike says, "Yeah, well, I'm hip. That's why I don't trust him." I don't know what that means, Mike. I don't know what that means. But also, Ludlow, why are you lying? So the plan is Micky and Peter are going to take Ludlow to the pad and teach him Riz for later, for when they switch back, and he has to continue on this lie that he started with the woman he will be married to for the rest of his life. And by pick him up and take him to the pad, I mean that they literally pick him up and take him. By which I mean the body double still being kept very perpendicular to the camera. Yeah, Davy says, "Who am I going to tell him you are?" to Mike, and Mike says, "Whatever's right." Then there's another confusing and pointless thing. The ambassador comes in, and he's like, "Your Highness, I have information about treason. I will give it to you for $1,000. And then Davy's like, "Well, I don't have $1,000. And then he leaves. What was the point of that?
Well, he was going to turn. The ambassador was going to turn on him.
Okay, but he didn't.
No, because they didn't pay him.
So what was the point of that?
It was to establish that he is a pauper.
I guess.
Okay.
It was suspicious that he didn't have it.
I thought it was very suspicious. Why he would, and the guy was like, "Okay, whatever." And I'm like, "But aren't you the prince of the?" Okay.
He didn't care.
Okay.
He was too busy playing king and being a king because he liked to do that. So Davy stands up from the throne and gets shoved back down by Mike 5 times in a row. And then the 6th time, he just like stands up and sits down by himself, because by that point, Mike is like distracted playing with his crown because he has a hat-seeking instinct. Yes. And when his hat is gone, he seeks the next most hat-like object to cover his head.
Hat withdrawal.
Yeah. I didn't record what they were talking about while that was happening because it was presumably not very relevant.
I think Davy's afraid he's going to get killed, and Mike is insisting he stay and help Ludlow. That's what I have. So I guess Davy's like, "Oh no, I'm afraid I'm going to get killed."
And Mike is like,
because he knows there's a treasonous plot.
So the monkeys are like, they're not getting paid for this. They just want to help out Ludlow because he's a great guy, because he looks like Davy.
They met a half hour ago.
Yeah. Honestly, though, if I met someone who was like weirdly, mysteriously identical to one of my friends, I would probably be like, "I don't know, you're one of us now." Davy says, "When I go through this door, I'll be the Prince of Peruvia," which is the first time they say the name of the country, and it comes halfway through the episode.
Oh, Peruvia. Okay.
Mike's sideburns are not anywhere near their full capacity yet, but they have started to grow out. They have started to take the shape. They have started to take their correct shape, and they just look so right with this particular outfit because Mike's final form is like Civil War General Mutton Chops. Mm-hmm. So it just looks right when he wears old-timey clothes.
Yeah, he does look medieval.
Yeah.
So when he walks through the door, he walks into a closet.
Yeah.
And then they goes, "Oh, wrong door." But there's somebody there throwing things on
a bunch of like hat boxes and stuff falls out on them. That shot is familiar to me because when you go too fast through the teen magazine archive on Cool Cherry Cream, when you go through too fast through the photos section, if you break the website by doing that, it shows you a GIF of that. And I have run across that GIF many a time. So a shot zooms out from the taxidermy monkey to Ludlow asking for food in the monkey's kitchen, where they keep that monkey on their kitchen table. Delicious. And Peter only offers him terrible, smelly food options.
Limburg cheese, sardines, or 2-week-old liverwurst.
Terrible options. Hard cut to Peter and Micky eating chips out of a bowl in different shirts.
Yes. Eating chips, and when we say eating chips, we mean just stuffing their mouth full of chips and crunching really, really loudly.
Yeah. The shirts is like the most basic continuity possible, and I know they didn't have a continuity person. The fact that like nobody on set was like, "Hey, this is the same day in the script. Should we try and keep the
Like,
costumes the
They
same?"
didn't keep the costumes on one rack or anything. They just had one massive bin full of mixed match shirts.
They were just loose in the bin. In this scene, Peter, his shirt is like dark brown, but it's like paisley, so it's still groovy, and his pants have like brown plaid to match the shirt, but like the grain of the plaid is really big, so it's like really big stripes, really big plaid on his pants. And Davy, he's Ludlow in the scene, but he's wearing the blue monkeys on the line shirt that Micky had on before. And they're teaching Ludlow Riz by having him sit across from a random woman, because they see women as props for demonstration. Yes. They do this in so many episodes.
Women just they have a bunch of women they can call and say, "Come over, we need you."
Yeah,
just show
for
it.
This, but they don't date those girls. No. They're just those demonstration purpose girls. This particular one, like when she talks, she has like one line. She sounds like Columbia from Rocky Horror. She's like, "You're very lucky to be invited to Frank's laboratory." And then we get the scene where the knife and potion man speaks. Yeah. So the ambassador says to him, "Where did you get this note that he has?" And then the knife and potion man says, "The girl asked me to deliver it to the prince." I wrote that he has a weird high-pitched voice, but I don't remember what he sounded like.
I said, I thought he sounded like a hillbilly. I said, "Weird sharpening guy who I now realize is dirty, and his shirt is all ripped. Who is this guy?" Is it sticking his tongue out? Like he was like sticking his tongue out when he's talking. I was like, who is this?
I think David Price just really wanted to do a bit really bad.
Yeah, he just is like, put me in all, like, maybe the actor they had to play, like, the knife and potion guy didn't come, and he was like, put me in all improv.
I'll do it.
I have some great ideas for this part, and then none of it translated, because it was all, like, in-jokes or something. Anyway, he has a note, which is a note from the girl for Ludlow, and it says, "I am falling in love with you," and the ambassador immediately goes, "We must kill the prince."
Which he's got too much Riz.
Which creepy guy agrees to.
Okay, so 10 minutes ago they were okay with the loosey-goosey, you know what, his girlfriend, we'll let him hang out with this girl who's basically his girlfriend. That's okay, because the Count talked to her one time. That'll work, and now we have to kill him. It didn't make any sense.
Okay. And then the potion, the creepy knife guy says,
"Use my potion."
Points at the potion, and the guy says, the ambassador says, "Oh, is that poison?" He goes, "It's not French dressing."
It's his potion.
It's not French dressing.
Not French dressing.
It's his
gotta
potion.
Be.
Who knows what's? It's his potion.
A death potion.
I feel like if you put French dressing on a sword and stab someone, that would still cause a pretty bad infection.
French dressing, though.
Okay. They put the potion on the sword. This will kill him. And when they put the potion on the sword, it makes like the tip of the sword red. Like it appears to have been dipped in wax. Really obvious.
They're also like handling those swords. If they were at all, I know that they're fencing.
Yeah.
What are they called?
On guard, épée. I don't know.
Oh, God, I came up with it later. And foils.
Foils.
Mm-hmm. But they're fencing foils. So are they like? Can you stab someone with a fencing foil? I thought it bent.
Yeah, it doesn't really puncture the skin.
I don't think it punctures your skin. I mean,
especially in like a fencing outfit, you're not meant to like go through the clothes.
No, they're actual fencing. They're not meant to hurt you. You're just meant to be poked with it.
It didn't make any sense.
It made no sense.
Another thing that doesn't make any sense, the transition into this fencing scene is Vizier Mike is holding a salami.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know.
Why
did he have a salami? I don't know. Davy cuts up the salami and he's like, "I'm so hungry, Mike. Let me eat this salami." And Mike's like, "No, you don't get to eat the salami." And then the rest of the scene, Mike is like he's putting it in his mouth, but not biting it on this like big slice of salami.
He was doing that, and then the potion guy creepy guy was in the other corner, like
going like this,
going like that.
creepily the whole time. Davy's fencing tunic thing has like a thong strap through his butt cheeks. The whole scene is a mess. The whole scene is a huge mess. Davy says, like Cyrano, I will compose a poem as we duel and get you on the last one. But in the middle of the duel, the swords get switched by the potion man.
They go flying out of the hand.
They drop the swords.
And he says something about Longfellow, which is a poet.
Okay. And the sword gets switched, so the ambassador quits the duel because he doesn't want to get stabbed
by the poisonous plant.
And then Davy stabs a plant with the sword and it dies.
But we know they're switched because the knife sharpening guy was so overacting.
Yeah.
But then he was like, no, don't take that one.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Why was there a salami there? Why was there a salami there? Is it more subliminal messaging? So then Wendy comes in.
Yeah.
And Davy's like, will you marry me? And then it sounds like genuine improv. Mike goes, ooh, that's fast. And Davy goes, shut up. I think they were commenting on the script there. She says yes to this guy who treated her like he met her yesterday. And Mike says to the old butler, go get summon the cow. What?
Count.
I swear to God, he said cow.
Count.
You can't understand what anybody's saying in this show.
Summon the count.
Okay.
Who doesn't leave completely before? Oh, so he doesn't leave completely before Mike calls Micky and explains the plan. So the guy
he saw Micky walk in.
The guy goes to summon the cat, and he stands there and listens to the plan. Like he calls him and listens. He listens to the plan. So
they didn't think this through.
No.
Davy's like, Count, we wish to be married at once. The reception will be at the embassy this evening. And the girl's just like smiling blankly. she didn't know she was getting married this evening until 5 minutes later either.
She's like, yeah. And all those people show up. How do you get a whole room full of people on like 6 hours notice?
Yeah, who are these people? Who are these wedding guests? She seems totally cool with it, but I think this actress liked Davy because she goes, ooh, before going ham on making out with him. She was having fun kissing Davy for real. Which is honestly real of her.
So real.
And Davy was having fun too. Mike stumbles into the back wall curtain and like struggles with the phone's upside down mouthpiece as he calls the pad to get Micky to bring Ludlow to his wedding because it was hilarious physical comedy. And then it cuts to Mike like feeling on Davy on his like medals and his Prince outfit, fixing things that aren't wrong, and he's like he fixes his stash like Cynthia fixing Ariana's necklace for no reason. And Davy says to him, "You're not my real mother." But he is your fake mother.
But he is.
He did give birth to you, Davy, and you should show him some respect. Then the bad guys bring in the rest of the monkeys and plainclothes Ludlow at pirate musket point. They throw Ludlow in jail and are like, now you wretched boys must leave this embassy never to return. Long-haired weirdos is the meddling kids of the monkeys.
Yes. Oh,
yes. But wretched boys is a good contender if we didn't have that.
As opposed to the good boys of the previous episode.
Yeah. They're not good anymore. They're turned wretched. So at this point, the wedding is actively happening.
Yeah.
And the officiant is like the Pope.
No, he's a bishop.
Okay, he's a high church official.
High-ranking church official.
Like she is in the midst of walking down the aisle when the bad guys come in and interrupt this wedding. And they're like, "Oh, the prince has been summoned home." And then Davy comes in the back like, "No, I haven't." And it cuts to the dungeon where Ludlow is literally in the prison from Pirates of the Caribbean. It looks like the end of Pirates of the Caribbean with the dog and the keys.
To me, it looks exactly like the parallel of the scene in Barbie Princess and the Pauper. They also have the keys on like the round thing, and the guard is out there. It's like it's the exact same scene. Like Barbie Princess and the Pauper got it right.
I'm just like you. You're just like me.
That will be the edit I make.
Yes. Yes, we need that. Like, yeah, the jailer has a big metal ring of keys, like Pirates of the Caribbean. And Micky says to him, "Hi, Mr. Jailer, did you see Road to Morocco?" Starts playing patty cake with Peter. And then they punch him. What?
I don't know what the
Right.
road to Morocco
I don't know what it
was.
has to do with patty cake.
And then, yeah, what did that have to? And then they play patty cake, and that distracts him, and then they punch him. But I was like, "What's Road to Morocco have to do with it?
You could have
What is
just
Road
punched
to
him.
Morocco?"
Let's do a little research. Maybe we will. 1942 film. Maybe we will know. Starring Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, and Dorothy
okay.
Lamour.
Maybe they distract a jailer at some point.
Perhaps. Oh, Jeff and Orville attempt to use their patty cake routine on Kasim.
Oh,
They have
so
a patty cake
effect is real.
routine.
Okay, so that must be it.
Okay. This is a cultural reference that, if not for the monkeys,
It
would have
be.
been lost to the sands of time. Thank you. There's a random shot in the middle of the wedding where the Count grabs the ambassador's like medal and like looks at it and inspects it suspiciously, and that's never brought up or referenced again.
He does it twice, but they're in close proximity to each other, but it doesn't pay off. Like, you don't know why he does that.
He was like, "My part is boring. I'll try to inject some comedy in it."
They came through
the
closet. They came in through the closet, and the stuff was falling on them as they walked through the door.
Amazing. There are some shots in this scene where it's Davy from the back, and you can tell that it's the double when it didn't need to be. Yeah. It's not like he was in the shot. They just did not want him on set for a second longer than they needed him. So, and Mike stands up to object at the wedding to stall for more time.
And stammers.
Yeah.
He speaks absolute nonsense.
They were just
like, reminds me of that interview.
Yeah. They were just like, Mike, improv something, and that's what he came up with.
Yeah, he was just mumbling.
Yeah. So the monkeys and Ludlow bust in, and Ludlow and Davy switch back. And this makes Micky so happy that he has an ADHD freak out and starts vocal and physical stims.
That was crazy.
He's like going like, wow, zowie.
He's like scatting.
He's like, zooey, mama.
Wait, so Ludlow comes in, he's like, "I'll marry the girl," and the girl just stands there the entire
and
time.
She's like, "This seems good." I don't know why there's.
Guess he still looks like
with it.
Okay, I'll marry him.
I'll marry whoever this might be. He looks like Davy. That's all I care about. Does he have those plush lips I made out with? Good enough for me. So Mary starts playing.
So Mary starts playing.
During the bad guys and the monkeys physically fighting in the back of the still going on wedding, loudly, presumably ceremony interruptingly, but it's not. They get into like a food fight.
Yeah.
Mike has a slingshot where he's putting cream puffs in a slingshot. Mike was having fun with that slingshot.
Shooting them. Okay, did anybody else catch what else Mike did in the back of that scene?
What?
Well, they were flinging the food around, and then everybody was picking up bottles and smashing each other over the heads with them. And Mike takes a swig out of the bottle.
I did not want that.
I caught him drinking it. And then at another point, he actually point part of that, like I said, things are always out of order. He's wiping his mouth, and then the next time you see him take a swig out of the bottle.
There's a suit of armor, and at one point the Count opens the head of it, and Peter's just in there smiling. His face made me laugh in that moment. And then Micky starts like massaging the cake. And that reminded me of the potato salad gripping, which is why I was like, you know what, that should be our historical background. And then they have Shadow Realm cowboy hats and tie them up with the Shadow Realm lasso. I don't know. They needed to end the romp. They needed to tie them up. You know the rules. Ludlow pulling out of his first kiss with his bride. Arrest those men! He does not care about her.
And the woman is still just standing there like, okay, I married this
might
man.
As well happen.
She is a prop. She is a means to an end to them. And she does not matter. Much like that other girl who they had come to their house. So they get arrested. Ludlow is living happily ever after. And then Mike and Davy have a little conversation, and one of Davy's like epaulets has fallen off of his prince jacket, and Mike is like holding it. He like tries to put it back on, and he's like fidgeting with it. Ugh, this fucking joke. Davy's like, "Do you think those two are going to be okay as a couple? After all, it was me who she was in love with. Do you think that might be a problem?" Mike's like, "No." He says, "I'll tell you what, Davy. There was a wise old man 5,000 years ago named Ling Fu Ying," which he says in the most Texas accent possible. Racist Chinese music starts. Yeah. And then he says like some gibberish proverb in thick Texas accent. And the joke is that the proverb is nonsense, meaningless, and I didn't understand it either.
No.
They just wanted to be racist.
Gong. I say, yeah. Ling Fu Yang. Gong.
Yeah. The next scene is that, like, it starts with a close up on a newspaper, but it uses the, like, generic sexy backing track, the and the headline is Prince Ludlow honeymoons in Greece. What are they implying there? Are they saying he had kind of a Mamma Mia plot situation? He lived the plot of Mamma Mia. Here we
Guess
go
so.
again.
Mickey has these really round brown glasses on.
Yes,
When I was
they're so round.
first of all, does he wear glasses?
Those are his actual
Okay.
glasses, yes.
When I wear contacts, but I've been wearing glasses since I was 6 years old, and I went to first grade, and they said this child can't see anything. Like I was like I couldn't see anything. I was putting my face on the paper to write. So I got my eyes examined, and I got glasses when I was 6 years old, and I had perfectly round brown glasses. And I probably have one picture. I couldn't easily find it, of me wearing these glasses. And my brothers and sisters used to call me Owl Eyes.
Oh, that's so mean.
It was mean.
It is mean.
Remember those glasses are adorable on a little kid.
Yeah.
On Mickey, they are hilarious.
Yeah. They look better with his curly hair, I'll say. He has them for, like, a scene in Head, but those are his actual glasses, and he did not wear them a lot because they looked like that. So just remember, when he's running around in the rafters or whatever, he is also blind.
He's got no glasses on.
Yeah. Mickey says, I can tell who's going to wear the pants in that family. And then Peter says, with a figure like Wendy's, I hope it's her. How did you all manage to be misogynistic and feminist at the same time? Like,
Davy is really still hung up on this girl.
Yeah.
And Davy's sleeves are really puffy.
Yeah, he is like, his shirt is cut like a pirate shirt, but it's red gingham.
It was like tremendous sleeves.
He's wearing the entire tablecloth of an Italian restaurant. And Davy and Mike are just staring blankly out the window when they go up to them. And Mickey says twice, "Hey, Dave, look at this." He calls him Dave. So it says in the newspaper that Wendy is going to the University of Peruvia to work on her doctor's thesis. And Peter says, why can't her doctor work on his own thesis? That's not the only time they use that joke in the show. They use that joke like 4 times throughout the Monkees.
They thought it was funny.
To establish that Peter's not a feminist.
Yeah. He thinks that doctors cannot be women. And then the Monkees all leave Davy alone. Suddenly out of the bushes behind the pad comes a female teen magazine reporter.
Okay, before we get into this,
Okay.
she comes running up. Now, this is their pad, and there's a deck outside, which we always kind of thought was up in the air, but apparently it's the first floor. So they're on the deck because she comes running up, but there's no opening onto the deck.
Right, like she didn't use the front door for what reason?
And she's on the deck.
She was like hiding.
Did she jump over the wall of the deck?
Maybe.
The fence?
She was hiding in their bushes to spy on them because she's a reporter from the teen magazine.
Yeah.
And she's about to have a beautiful interview where they touch on potato salad, I guess. But also, she happens to look exactly like Wendy.
She's Wendy's doppelganger.
Yeah. And I love her outfit in the scene. It's a hot pink turtleneck with these like green and orange flower skirt, and she looks like a Barbie.
Yes. She did look like a Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah, she comes out of their bushes. And then without saying a word to her, Davy takes her sunglasses off, notices she looks like Wendy, sits her on the bench, and kisses her on the mouth without speaking a sentence to her.
Well, she said, I'm here. I'm looking for the monkey.
And he was like, oh,
well, you found him. Like,
that's assault. That's assault. Here we come. Good for Davy for finding a doppelganger girl who he's going to just throw away in a week. So is it good?
I was curious if maybe the girl was actually Wendy.
Like she ran
pretending
away
to be the reporter because she realized she doesn't love Ludlow.
Maybe.
That could be it. But in a world where doppelgangers exist,
well, I don't think she's going to throw that away.
Yeah, she wouldn't throw away the
honeymoon in Greece.
The wealthy prince for the very poor pop star.
For the really, really good.
So
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Monkee out.
Monkee out.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of The Monkees Pod. You can follow us on Instagram and the website formerly known as Twitter at MonkeesPod. Okay, now I'm gonna try something. Now I'm gonna try something crazy. Okay, I'm just like you.
I think that's true.
You're just like me.
Yes, I can see
We take responsibility. We carry through, do what we need to do. Yes, I am a girl like you. I'm just like you.
I'm just like you.
You're just like me.
You're just like me.
It's something anyone can see. A heart that beats, a voice that speaks the truth. Yes, I am a girl like you.
Okay, the harmonies were not the best, but it's a podcast outro. Let me live. Bye!